Okay, we're recording.
Okay. So my
Yeah.
first question is, if I have someone who their second order just shipped on 11/4,
Okay.
so when would they see commission on that? Would it be at the middle of this month or next month?
Next month. So
Next month.
we always get paid for the work we did the previous month. So the 15th of the month, the 15th of November is your paycheck for October. The 15th
Okay.
of December is your paycheck for November.
And they don't, on their first order with a welcome pack, they don't get commission on that.
Right. It would have had to have been like a 99 or a welcome pack plus enough to like be 100
Okay.
over. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So as far as her signing up for the wallet,
Okay.
so she will get an email. Should she have gotten that now, or she won't get that until December, middle of December, because she won't have a commission till then?
When I signed up, now this was almost 3 years ago, I got that email in the first week. I got a welcome and here's your wallet and blah and blah and blah. I think things have changed because a lot of people will message me and they'll be like, so I just got an email that I have money. Is this for real or is it a scam? And I'll be like, oh
Mhm.
no, it's for real. Go ahead and set up your wallet. And they'll be like, how do I do that? They have no idea. So then I walk them through how to do it. Most of the people recently haven't gotten an email. So what I do is I take them to their back office. And if you go
Mhm.
to my account and payments, your
Mhm.
wallet is right there. And I
Yeah,
have
and
them,
I did that with her, but it wasn't allowing her to sign up.
right. You can't sign in because it's a third party. It's not Plexus. It's a third party bank who pays us, not Plexus. So she has to
Mhm.
set up an account with these people. So
Yeah,
there's a
it
sign in
wouldn't
and
let her do that though.
right underneath there's a resend my initial email or something like that. And if she clicks that resend, it'll email her again. So whether it went to her spam or she just never saw it, it'll initiate that again and she can follow the prompts and set up her account.
Yeah, she was trying that and it wasn't working. And then when I called them, because she was having a hard time getting through, the way the gal explained it was she's not going to get that email to set up until she has commission.
Oh, okay. Well, then if
So
that's the case, that's new.
that's what I was trying to understand is at what point then she gets commission. So then that would mean basically 2 months later after your initial order.
Unless people sign up with their friends, then they're getting their business building bonuses for their welcome packs or their customer orders or what have you.
If they sign someone up, you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which she
Yep.
has not.
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure the
Mm-hmm.
person I was talking to knew what she was talking about. And I'm assuming she's correct.
It may
Okay.
be. Like I said, I feel like it's been updated, the program,
Mm-hmm.
probably, which is, fine. But yeah.
Okay. And my second question is, so let's say I sign someone up today
Okay.
with a 199 welcome pack.
Okay.
So I'm getting a $25 bonus,
Yes.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then how would I be paid on that first order? Like, what would I make on that order
Mm-hmm.
the first month? I'm asking. I know
Okay.
you get paid points. So if her order is, let's say, $250, you probably don't count the enrollment fee, I'm guessing.
Right. No, not the enrollment fee.
Okay, so it'd be
So,
just over 200.
right, you get paid on PV. PV.
Okay.
So 100 PV makes them qualified to count for points.
Yep.
So when it's a brand new person, first you get your business building bonus for the welcome pack. That you get the following Friday. No matter what, it's the following Friday.
That's the 25.
Right.
Okay.
Then you're going to get approximately $15 for points because the average pay point is about $3.
Yep.
And every new level one's worth 5 points, right? If they're qualified.
Yep.
5 times 3 is about 15. So
Okay.
15-ish dollars on points.
Okay.
If they are over 100 PV, you earn 5% commission on their PV.
Okay.
So my level ones, who even though they don't sell anything, they just buy products for their whole family, and they spend $400 to $500 a month.
Yep.
I earn 5% commission on their PV.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
people
that's
can, yeah, they can have big customer bases because they don't feel comfortable signing ambassadors, but yeah,
okay.
5% on PV.
Okay, that makes sense. I just wanted to make sure I was tracking with how it was done.
And then because of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Condensing, consolidation. If you have a level one who quit
Yep.
ordering, their level ones are now your level ones.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Did you say you had 3 or?
No, just 2.
Okay.
Just those 2.
How are you liking the, are you done with it already? The winning friends and influencing people.
No, I'm not done with it. It's good. I'm probably 2/3 of the way through it. It's really good. I think what I read most recently was, and I don't feel like this is something I struggle with at all, but if you kind of get into an argument or more of a I'm right, you're wrong, don't ever make them feel like they're wrong. Because that's not smart, because you're going to offend them and alienate them. And even if you are right and they're wrong, you don't want them to feel like that. That's not smart.
What good marriage advice is that?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. When you are after winning an argument, nobody actually wins that argument.
Right.
Even if you win, you lose.
Right. Win the battle and lose the war, I think they say. Yeah. And I don't feel like I'm the type of person that's got to argue a point to the death to be right, but it's still a good reminder. And then he kind of covered, even if it's something where you feel like it kind of has to be dealt with and you can't just let it go, then more approach it. I could be wrong, or I could be this. And then it's easier for them to not feel like they're on the defensive.
Oh, I agree with that. And something, I don't know if it was from his book, or John Maxwell also has an excellent people book. It's 25 Ways to Win with People, I think is what it's called. But it's kind of along the same vein. It's, people skills. And it may have been from him that I learned it. But a really good point of, instead of trying to win the argument, the goal being communication.
Yep.
And that goes both ways. It's not just my side is being heard, it's also being open to hearing their side. And there's an unfortunate belief right now, especially amongst some of the extreme groups, that if you don't agree with my lifestyle, for example, you're rejecting me.
Right.
And I feel like, unfortunately, that's kind of prevalent just throughout our culture. And so it's become quite a skill that a person needs to develop to communicate. We don't have to agree on this topic, to still be
Right.
friends.
Right.
And just being able to both of you be heard and say, well, I can respect your opinion and not
Right.
agree with you. That is okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yep.
can still care about you
Mm-hmm.
without agreeing with what you're saying.
Right. Yep. No,
Yeah.
good stuff. I've been working on like the last bit of the 6 what's the book where you just finished so fast and I'm finishing because I'm going through and doing all the assignments.
21 Laws of, or no,
No,
The Power of Five?
no.
No.
The Slight Edge.
Oh, yeah.
I'm literally like, I'm in the last few pages, but I'm making myself actually do all the exercises, and it's
Yeah.
taking a bloody long time.
Oh, yeah, that takes a lot more time.
But there's a lot of clarity that goes with that. If you actually force yourself to sit down and get quiet and answer all those questions. Did you do the whole last chapter?
I more read through the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
and didn't do any highlighting or notes. And then I want to go through it again and go through it more slowly. So no, I didn't do the slow route. I just read through it, trying to get as much content as I could,
Mm-hmm.
and then I plan on going through it again.
It's good. And oh, did you listen to the podcast that Megan posted the stuff she was going through with Jessica Heffley, and attached to it was a podcast. And in the podcast, you didn't listen to that yet?
I have not. I think I just saw that this morning.
Okay.
I listened to her Eric War
Mm-hmm.
podcast that I think
Mm-hmm.
she posted,
She
which
liked
is,
she liked him a lot.
it's, I mean, what he said was good, but I can't put my life on hold for 30 days and spend 16 hours a day doing plexus. It's like,
Oh, the recruiting 20
yes,
video? Yeah.
yes,
Yep. No, he says right in there, you need to schedule this. Like, this is going to
yeah,
take over your life. So just walk into
right.
this knowing that.
Well, I don't see that ever being feasible for me. You know what I
But
mean?
I feel like, yeah, I did it once.
Did you?
I did. And I didn't recruit 20. I think I got like 13 or 14.
Oh,
But
well, that's
it was
good.
it was big, and I think it did like he says, it creates a momentum that then keeps you going for a while. But
Yeah.
like I was explaining before, I have a weakness of um burst and then pull back all the time. And
Yeah.
so it didn't end up serving me as well as it would have to keep consistency, because I quickly lost the momentum I built because
Right.
I burned myself out.
Right.
So part of it was I watched the video and I just did it. Like, I did not take his advice and make sure I had a clear schedule. I just tried to make it work in what I had going on, which
Right.
was not a wise move.
Yeah.
So I will tell people, oh, it'll work if you're going to do it. Just please actually take the time to look at your calendar and understand this will take over your life for this 30 days. And
Yeah.
if you're only doing it for that season, that's not a bad thing. If your family's on board with it, that's okay. But if they're not, then just
I don't think, yeah, I
be
think
aware.
it's a little too much for
It's a
me.
lot. And it may just be not at this season. I feel like it is seasonal. This whole thing is seasonal, like we talked about. You have heavy seasons of personal recruiting, and then you are building those people, helping them reach their warm market because you're warming up a new warm market, and it's
Mhm.
seasonal, and it is
Yeah.
okay. Did you ever find that video, by the way?
Which video?
There was one about the seasons of network marketing.
No, I looked. with the description you gave, but I couldn't find anything.
And I don't remember. I'll try to remember where I saved that. It was a really good perspective for me. It's kept me from feeling crazed at any point. It's like not like the system's broken. I'm just in the seasons.
In the
And it's
cycle,
okay.
yeah.
Mhm. Have you seen the Who is Your 76?
No, I don't think so. That doesn't sound familiar.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
Just save it somewhere, and while you're doing dishes or something, listen to it.
Okay.
It's not one that I feel like you necessarily need to take notes on, but it's a really good one to have for perspective.
Okay.
And oh, did you find that fungus video by Lori Harrison?
Yeah, and I had actually, once I started watching it, then I remembered I had seen it one other time, but I watched it again. Yeah,
Okay.
it's good.
I feel like she's very good at explaining it for new people too, right? In a way that's easy to understand.
Right. It's
Mm-hmm.
not all medical terms that
Exactly.
get lost.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I liked that a lot. Okay, but I kind of like the idea. What about trying to do a power hour next week? And it doesn't even have to be, because next week is the week before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would give everybody, so I could put this out to the thread, the idea of if you don't have samples already, order those. Because like I don't have samples of the collagen yet, but I think that would be a really good sample thing to have. So this week we could spend the time getting some samples, and you don't want to come to this meeting without your list. You want to have already done the list of like who's ordered what.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just get together to actually write our messages and decide what samples to put in them, but to keep us on task, because that's tricky for me. Maybe it's because I have a toddler, but staying on task is a little tricky for me.
Sure, that doesn't help.
Okay, so I'll present that to the group, but I feel like that could be a good investment in like the thankful month. And it doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, especially, the other thing would be to order, what are we going to ship them in? Like, do you have these?
Oh, I've got some, but definitely not the pretty pink.
Okay.
Are those from Plexus?
No, this is from Amazon. And
Oh,
they're
okay.
pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap. They're definitely cheaper than getting them like buying the post office version.
Yeah, I think I just got mine at the dollar store, so they're just plain brown.
And that's fine too. I personally do like the ones with a little bubble lining, because I've had no instances of the powder being squished out where I did with the brown.
Okay. Yeah, mine have the bubble. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And that's totally fine. Like if you have, I've done this before, I just put stickers on it. Because, well, I'm a little bit of I'm extravagant. So I put stickers on it, or I stamp on them or something when I had just the brown ones.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take any extra time. I mean, barely,
Right.
But yeah, that's a fun thing to have. And then you probably have thank you notes, but I have like, you can get those Max big old bulk things, and it's just a slip of paper and an envelope, and you can get like 100 of them for $15 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And
I
I
got
found
mine
them
from the
at
dollar store too.
dollar store, Walmart,
Right.
get them in bulk.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was thinking, is a simple note and a stick of something in a cute
Yeah,
little package is
that's a good
what
idea.
my thought was. Okay. And I'm thinking my customers too, not just my ambassadors,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
hmm all the things.
Did you watch the Brooke Motivation Monday?
It's on my list after this.
Okay, because I was going to say, she talked about the new sampling, the 3-day sample
Hmm
packs, the brand new ones. And I was thinking it would be nice to get something set up in the next few weeks where we could do that together, have, you know, an event, a 3-day event,
hmm
to be able to send those out to people and kind of use that as a means of getting new people and inviting people.
Yeah, for sure. Did she, like, was she footing the bill for those, or was she asking people to purchase a 3-day sample?
Um, I think she was asking people to purchase it because they're
Mhm.
$20.
Right. hmm
Yeah, I don't think she was saying us purchase them.
Yeah.
I didn't
No,
get that from it.
absolutely. That's kind of, I think, Megan's goal with these events that she does, is for
Mm-hmm.
us all to do that. We as a team have not been good about, and I feel like I said, that my organization needs to reach another level of like looking at the month ahead and pre-planning and saying, "Hey team,
Yeah,
we're doing our power hour this day to
yeah,
prep for this challenge." Because I feel
yeah.
like a lot of us would do it if it wasn't so like feeling lonely when you're sitting
Yeah.
doing it.
And when you think of it last minute, then
Yes, it's so hard.
when you spring it on people last
Mm-hmm.
minute, you don't get a good result.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. And I feel like, I mean, it'd be tricky to do an event. I mean, we could do a one night event this month
Mm-hmm.
without probably any trouble. But we do still have the men's event coming up. Um, but doing a 3-day event might be tricky just because it's Thanksgiving coming up at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the month.
I thought the men's event already happened.
It's got two part, just like last
Oh, okay.
month. The ladies event had the first part and the second part. This one does too. So
Oh, okay.
the 7th, and then the 21st.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Let me peek at. I wrote notes from last time. So did you end up using the video or making your own for the perks video that I did?
Oh, no, I used yours.
Okay.
That was great. You're very good at it. And I got that out to everyone on my team.
Okay. Cool.
It was perfect.
Awesome. So out of what you've been avoiding and resisting, have you practiced at all?
No, I have not. Yeah, I have not. And I don't feel like it's so much that it's been sitting there and I just haven't wanted to do it. I feel like I've been kind of focusing on catching up on all the other stuff.
hmm
So I can put it on my list to hopefully work on it next week.
It's actually, because remember, you don't necessarily, I mean, you can, if you're that kind of person, just go live and just wing it your first time.
No,
But
definitely not.
I filmed myself on my cell phone over and
Right,
over and over again.
right.
And so, do that. Nobody else has to
Yeah.
see that. It's just
Right.
you
No.
practicing.
Yeah, that is what I will have to definitely do.
hmm
Yeah. I'll
Because,
get there.
like I'm discovering, whatever thing I keep avoiding
Right.
ends up coming around to bite me because I end up in a situation where I could take advantage of an opportunity, except I've been avoiding this so much, I'm completely unprepared.
Right.
And I can't.
Right.
I cannot take advantage of the situation. So
I can see that.
simply, and it's not, everybody's is, I don't want to say everybody's is different. Most people's fall into a few broad categories of things that they're avoiding.
Yep.
But identifying is the first step, and then starting to take our steps is our next step. Okay, I guess, what was the other thing? So I'm going to watch. Go
I
ahead.
made my list of 20 strengths.
Oh, good.
You want me to send it to you, or do you want to hear it?
Well, you can read it to me, but yes, you should send it to me too, so I also have it.
Let me find it. I've got a lot of notes here. And the
Excuse me?
first one is organized, and I'm trying to find all my notes here.
Yeah.
Okay, organized, love people, person of my word, disciplined, optimistic, self-controlled, respectful, determined, honest, compassionate, flexible, patient, prayerful, enthusiastic, trustworthy, independent, loyal, authentic, encourager, and grateful.
That's awesome. You sound like exactly the kind of person I want on my team.
I'm here. I'm here. You've already found me.
That's amazing. So that's awesome. You know what just rang in my head though over that was how true that is. But as far as like growing an influence in a social media setting particularly, the only way you do that is with videos.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a practiced thing of expressing this is who you are. Those are just legit who you are.
Right.
And learning how to get comfortable enough to communicate that.
Yeah.
And let everybody else in.
Right.
Because you're the kind of person people should be looking to, like, want to be like. It's the type of person to follow. You're not flaky, dramatic, gonna cause all kinds of trouble. You would be an excellent influencer, role model for people on so many levels, girl. So many levels.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So work on the videos.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like just based off of your strengths, that's a huge it's a huge tool that you just haven't even tapped.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're good at one-on-one with people. You're so good at that. You can
I would say that's my
real.
strength. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very comfortable there.
Mm-hmm.
But put a camera in front of me and I freeze out.
Oh gosh. Yep. So learning how to reframe, it's probably a rewiring of your brain. You probably have told yourself a story about either how you look on camera or sound on camera or something.
Both. Yeah.
So long that you really believe it, and so your subconscious is going to fight you tooth and nail to keep you.
Yeah, no, you are 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Because even when I've tried, I look at myself and it's like, oh no. Or I hear my voice and it's like, oh, that's grating. No.
I know. But yeah, so maybe reframing.
Yeah.
Reframing that you're talking to somebody you care about.
Mm-hmm.
And just practicing it until you get to the point where you can just talk to somebody that you care about just on the other side of the camera, which you can't see them right now, but you're just talking to somebody you care about.
Yeah, it would be better if I could see them and not me.
Yeah, well. The tricky part, I get that. But I think initially, yes, but at the same time, as you get more and more comfortable with it, it is so helpful to be able to see yourself because you can see if you're making a weird face. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have done that. And I'm like, I watch it, I'm like, that was so good, but what was my face doing? Like, that was terrible.
I think that the whole time, not just with one face. I'm thinking that the entire time.
What don't you like about your face? You are beautiful.
It's just on camera. I don't know. I see every flaw. I feel like I look like I'm 90 years old.
Mhm.
Every wrinkle. Yeah.
Um,
I think
so
you think in your brain you look one way, and then when you see yourself on camera, it's like, oh my gosh, I look like I'm an old lady. I don't feel like that. And it's
yeah,
coming to terms with, I guess, where you're at.
yeah, uh-huh. Not just age either. It can be weight, it can be, my face broke out.
Yeah.
It can be all of
Yeah.
the things.
No,
But
yeah, it's different, I think, for
mhm.
anyone.
I really hate my nose on camera. Like,
Really?
it bothers me so bad. Every video I've done, like, I just sit there and I'm like, I hate my nose so bad. And it's
What?
just like weird. Why? I can't really tell you. I feel like it's really big.
Oh, it is.
And but it's like that's a perception I put on myself. It's like
Right.
I decided I hated my nose, that my nose was too big or like the wrong shape for my face or whatever.
Right.
And it kept me from posting a video forever. Like it didn't matter how good my content was. I couldn't post it because my nose was so bad.
And
And
it's so funny if you had 100 people watch your video and ask them then, what did you think about Stephanie's nose? I guarantee you not one person would say,
right?
it's big or it's
Uh-huh.
whatever. Nobody.
Exactly.
They'd be like,
Mhm.
I don't see anything unique or
Right.
different.
It was like, what's wrong with it? It's fine. Who
Exactly.
cares? Because everybody else is so busy worrying about what's going on with them. They really
Yeah,
don't. They really don't take the
right.
time. So I guess that would be another thing to just think about. Who are well, we talked a little bit about this last time, how some of our favorite people are the real, the authentic, the like, they can show up with no makeup and just like, this is just who I am.
Yep.
I'm not quite at that point yet. But
Yeah,
at
me
the
neither.
same time, our favorite people, we don't expect them or even necessarily want them to be perfect.
Right,
Like that's not a high criteria on our list for the
right,
people we're looking to connect with because it makes us feel inferior and like,
right,
well, I could never really be their friend because I could never be that perfect.
right.
And so I think that might have been somewhere around I think I was encouraged to get over myself. Like, get over yourself.
Mhm.
Like, start thinking about the other people. If you've got something
Right,
that you need to share, something good for them,
right.
they don't care.
Yeah, push aside the head trash. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for sure.
So, yes, dear practice, but maybe even take a minute and write down exactly what are the negative stories you've told yourself so that they're
Mhm.
out in the open, and then
Yep,
rewrite the story. So every time that negative story pops into your head, you can choose instead to start playing your positive story.
yep.
This baby girl is like, Mom, I am here and I am cramped. And like all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, hello.
Try having two in there.
Can't even. I did read a statistic though, which I was like, thank the Lord. They said it is very uncommon for short women to have twins. Like
Really?
statistically speaking, they're taller women have twins. And I think that's just the Lord's mercy, because where would they go in somebody this short?
Right,
Like,
right.
there's no room in there.
That's funny. I've never heard that.
I think I read it on like my baby app. They were talking about, statistically, twins. Do they run in families? And they talked about different ethnicities are more
Mhm.
likely to have them. Taller women are more likely to have them. It's more likely to be a second, third, or fourth pregnancy than your first. Just like all kinds of funny statistics. I was like,
That's
interesting.
interesting.
All right, dearie. Any other questions, comments?
Let's see.
Are you reading anything besides Winning Friends and Influencing People?
No, the only other book I just started is Rooted by Banning Leapshire,
Okay.
the guy who started Jesus Culture.
Oh.
You familiar with them?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about who they are, what they do.
They travel around and they do music. They're really
Mm.
good worship music, but and it's kind of a whole movement with conferences and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
he's the one who started the whole movement. And so the book is called Rooted, just kind of talking about growth in your walk with the Lord and
Mm-hmm.
how your root system and kind of what's below the surface is so critical to, your maturity.
Amen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The only other one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. So I know my next goal is gold, and that's
Okay.
20 people.
Mm-hmm.
So then senior gold, that's 50 people. Is that correct? Okay. That just sounds monumental
It does.
because it's
And
over double.
right.
It's
It's
double and then another half.
mm-hmm. It's why so many people, like, if you walk in as an influential individual, a lot of people you'll hear like will go gold by themselves, or like
Mm-hmm.
almost completely level ones, because they were a
Mm-hmm.
very influential person. I think I had one silver, two. I had two silvers when I went. No, I had one silver when I went gold.
Okay.
And then the road from gold to senior gold was long and hard. And I don't think it wouldn't have happened unless I found another basic Atlanta also. So Lana went gold right at the same time I went senior gold. So it was like
Okay.
we were both kind of in momentum. She had much more momentum than I did at that point. So we kind of at the same time ranked. I think it might have been the same month, or like back to back months
Okay.
we
And
ranked.
how long did that take you from gold to senior gold?
Oh, I'd have to go back and look, to be honest with you. I do not remember, but it was months.
Okay.
It was probably 6 months, because I think I went silver, super silver the next month, gold the next month, and then
Oh,
sat at gold for like 6 months. And then Lana and I both went, and then so Lana went fast, like she went gold quickly, and
mhm.
I ranked to senior gold, and I think I sat at senior gold for like 6 or 9 months before I went ruby. Because
Okay.
it really, at that point, you have talked to the people you know the best. And so you
Right.
are now, you're warming up a new market, and you're teaching your level ones to get their warm market involved.
Yeah.
And because duplication was not something that was being heavily taught at my
Mhm.
beginning, it was just go do that. And so I just
Yeah.
went and did that. And so then I
Right.
had to go back and like completely relearn it, because nobody that I'd signed up wanted to do the amount of work I was doing. So I had to redo the system to teach
Yeah.
them. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking yes, I can probably hit gold on my own, but to do senior gold, I'm gonna have to really work on finding people who are willing to share. And right now
Hmm.
I have one
Right.
person.
Hmm. So, a couple thoughts on that. I recommend you listen to that Melissa Eichenhorst video I sent you, the Who is Your 76?
Okay.
Because in there, that was something I really held on to. Like all through my long drawn out spells of staying the same, watching my friends and peers rank up and I was still staying the same. Um, her video is really good. She's like, she didn't get her first real runner until her 76th person she signed up.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So, but she
I
just
don't
made
know if
that
that's
work.
encouraging or discouraging.
But to me, it was super encouraging because I had already signed up like 50 people or, something like that. It was like, and nobody else wants to do this with me. A big piece of it was nobody had time to put what I was putting into it. I hadn't simplified my system enough. Like it was way too complicated. That was the
Okay.
biggest thing. But then she was like, and she didn't mean nobody went silver. She could develop silvers, but nobody wanted to go to the top. So like her first jewel was her 76th person. But
Okay.
then I think in the video she talks about like it was 76th and then her 78th person and then and it was just like it was like all of a sudden she started finding them. And I think a piece of it was one, not giving up, because remember we're cultivating and then the harvest. So there's that piece of it.
Yeah.
There's also, once you start momentum and excitement going, once there's more than just you, the
Yeah.
culture becomes exciting and more people want in on it.
Right.
And once you do it once, you get more gumption to like, I can help somebody else do this. And so you become more bold
Okay.
and you talk different to people. So then people think about it differently.
Yeah.
And
You
you'll,
have a track record.
right.
You've done it.
But not even that. Like I couldn't use my story, but I became bolder with other people's stories. I'm like, I'm not a doctor or a nurse or a physical fitness expert. I'm a mom. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I became bolder with sharing like diamond documentaries and other people's stories with these people and be like, you could do this. You remind me of this person. And
Mhm.
so it just changes how you talk too. So I liked her video. You should watch it. It's been a while since I watched it, but those are the things that I remember that pop into my head.
Yeah, I will watch it. I think part of it is I don't feel right now confident to know exactly how to guide someone through those steps, probably like I should.
Okay. Well, that right there is something that it's either causing you stress, anxiety, or you're avoiding it. What would you classify it as?
Probably both.
Okay. So I think that probably needs to be pretty high on your list too. For me, because I was 100% there. That's what took me so long to go Ruby. I didn't feel confident that I could actually build somebody, that I could really do it for them. And so what I did, I think I told you this once. I watched Emily Gibson's Making Silvers videos on repeat until I talked like she talked.
And I know I've seen that,
So
but
because
obviously I don't have it memorized and
mhm,
in my head.
right. But it was Emily Gibson, Abby Kappa did a good one, and Brooke Hemingway was really good. It might have been just those three. Maybe Tara Castaneda. I think there's a Tara Castaneda one. But they were basically like 4 videos. I watched them every single day. I'd have them on while I was doing the laundry, on while I was driving, all of the time, because this is how I wanted to feel when I talk to these people. I wanted this level of confidence. And it was when I would try to talk to people and I would be trying to remember, oh, what did she say? How did she phrase that? And you start stumbling over your own words. You can't even listen to this person anymore because you're so stressed about what is it I'm supposed to be saying.
Right. Right.
So I was like, that I can't have that. I need to have this verbiage, just it's how I talk.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first thing that I did. And then off of those videos is how I made my silver system that I shared with you guys like over the summer. I made 3 graphics of like, these are the steps people need to go through to go silver. And honestly, if they will actually do them, and if they're a nice person who's like actually got any kind of support, they should go silver, like within a month.
Can you resend those?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure I saw them and looked at them, but I have information overload with
Yes.
so much stuff that.
Mm-hmm. So let's wheedle it down. Let's wheedle it down. So like, what do you feel like you have on your plate right now? What are all of the things that's information overloading? And can we narrow it down?
Well, I think there's just a constant, I mean, you've got the Motivation Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty common. Videos and things are in our, whether it's Megan's
Mm-hmm.
group or our group. I'm
Mm-hmm.
constantly watching my own stuff
Mm-hmm.
whenever I can with anything, trying to plug it all in, constantly reading.
Mm-hmm.
And then just trying to go through the things I need to work on. It just seems like there's a lot,
Mm-hmm. And yeah, no, and that's exactly the stage you're in too, because you're not only growing your mindset, you're now and how you interact and recruit people. You're also
Right.
trying to grow your leadership to like
Right.
raise up the next generation. So it's
Right.
intense. It's a lot.
It is.
So I guess what my question is yes, and it's all good. I don't feel like you can really say, you can't exclude any of it. All of it's important.
Right.
However, if you try to do it all at once, you won't make the progress.
Right.
So picking, okay, out of all of these things, what is my biggest block? Like I have been avoiding it. It stresses me out. It scares me. Like the biggest elephant in the room is probably the one that needs the laser focus to. And you know what's funny is most of the time, once you actually turn the light on and sit there and focus on it long enough, you realize it's not quite as scary and daunting. And you actually know more than you thought.
Yeah,
That's been my experience.
I think I probably have learned a lot of it and have bits and pieces, but when it comes down to, okay, I have a person right here in front of me who's willing to share how can I help her the very best that I can? How can I give her the very best tools? How can I encourage her? How can I make it as easy as I can and not just throw a truckload of info at her, which makes her feel like, ah! You know what I mean? I want to just make it the best experience for her that I can and give her the best tools. And I don't feel like I mean, there's a ton of them, but it's almost like I don't even know where to.
Where does it
And I don't want to just say, here, go on your computer and start walking through this process. I can, obviously, because it's laid out there, but I feel like I should be doing more than that with helping her.
Okay. So, yes and no. I believe, number one, every person should be important because they're people. And They did trust us when they started that we would be there to help them.
Right.
However, if we start out holding their hand the entire time, it's kind of like bad parenting. You're basically handicapping your child from ever moving out of the house on their own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there has to be a balance of, I communicate your worth and that I am invested in you. Here's your first assignment. Come back to me when you've completed it.
Yeah.
So like there has to be that level of some accountability there, because if they can't complete the first assignment, like, and there should be a grace period. So what happened? Why didn't you do it? Was it you had to put your dog down this week? You know, you couldn't control
Right.
that. Or was it you were scared? Okay, let's do it together right now. Like, let's sit down and do it. If they're
Right.
not willing to take the first step, then you can't sit there and spend too much time on them.
Yeah, no, and I totally understand that. I guess it's more just knowing what is the very best first step to give her.
Mm-hmm. And okay, so you ready for this? I don't think there is a very best, because people are so different.
Okay.
So for example, some experts say make them post on social media. Not everybody is on social media.
Yeah, and she already did that.
Right.
Which was good, and didn't get one response beyond myself and a few other Plexus people.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like, you can't blanket this is the best, because every person's different. So in my system, what I did was I picked out of all the experts, and what I qualified experts as people who consistently produce silvers. Like, their percentage of people they sign up that then sign up people are really high.
Mm-hmm.
They have a couple things that they do with them. They ask them to post on Facebook right now. Like Emily Gibson says, will you do it right now? Or, and then if they say yes, she helps them do it right now. If they say no, will you do it? Will you do it tomorrow? Yes, she follows up with them tomorrow. Like, to her, this is a big deal. If they're not willing to do that, she plays the telephone game. You know, the who do you know? My mom. Will she get on a call with me right now? Or can we all go out to coffee? Well, some people that's a little too much, you know, but you can play a game of telephone. You can say, okay, so tell me a little bit more about your mom. They tell you, I want you to send her this message with this video. And then what did she say? And all they are having to do is copy and paste it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so you're teaching them how to recruit somebody without them having any idea that's what you're teaching them. And it's just asking good questions one step at a time. And yeah, I'll send you, because I made graphics and I made a video about it. So I'll dig all that up and send it to you.
Yeah, I'd like to watch it. I think that would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting for a person willing to share, and now that I have someone, it's like I want to capitalize on it and just do everything in a right way, be a good leader for her.
And some people have a presence on social media, so that's the most legitimate way for them to start. Other people never post. I still think that was Brooke Hemingway. She never posted, but her sponsor told her to do it. She did it, and she got somebody interested, you know, because you never know who's suffering. And that's always what I go back to. I'm like, look, guys, this is not about you. It's not about me. We have good news. This works. If people will take it and stay consistent, it will change their lives. There are people out there who are sick and praying for something to intervene in their life, because it is a downward spiral. That's what we're doing here. We are sharing good news. And we hope that it's received. If it is not, that doesn't mean you're a failure, doesn't mean the product doesn't work. It means either they were too scared to say anything, or they didn't see it. Probably the most common. So then, who was it that was on your mind when you were thinking about this? Who was it that if I give you a message, will you send it to them? And they
Mhm.
might hem and haw and be like, well, I don't know. I'm like, this is the message. Let them read it. And then they can see this is not a sales pitch. This is a heartfelt invitation to check out more.
Right.
I found that takes a lot of people's guards down. Is like, I give them the message I want them to send. Will you send this? And a lot of the time they're like, oh yeah, I could do that. And
Okay.
then tell me what they say. I
Okay.
think that's really the key. Is it's like you said um in your list of strengths, you're flexible. I feel like
Mhm.
that's a must for becoming a leader, because you do have, like, you're going to have a structured routine, but it does have a lot of give to it because every person is different.
Right.
So it's like, in one sense, we're working out a steps program, and in another sense, it's so fluid because we're going to meet people where they're at and then help navigate them through it.
Right. It's kind of like your children. You can't treat
hmm
them all exactly the same because
hmm
they're not the same.
Right. But the goal is the same.
Right.
And so, really, the steps aren't too terribly different. We just get kind of creative in how we get them there because everybody has different learning styles and all of the things.
Right.
hmm
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So, feeling really confident in your silver development. Like, would you put that above, below, equal with the video making? As far as like stresses you out, is holding you back?
Um, I think the video making, I'm just scared, I'm uncomfortable, it's awkward, I don't want anything to do with it. I know it's necessary and I know I need to work on it, but yeah, that's really hard. But this is more, I just want to know the best way and I don't want to let her down. It's
hmm
not so much fearful about doing it, it's more what is the best way, and that's how I want to do it, and knowing how to proceed.
Okay. All right. Well, for me, the only, like, I mean, I feel like I tried so many different systems and things, and I didn't, until I buckled down and just decided to learn. To me, it was learning the verbiage. Like, I had to just watch these videos, and then the other thing, it's kind of like meditating on scripture or anything else, like really true and profound. The more you mull it over, the more you realize this is actually really simple. And everybody's actually saying the same thing. They just go about it slightly differently.
Right.
And so then out of that information, I picked, this sounds the most like me.
Yeah.
This fits my goals, my time schedule, like, this fits me. And so this is how my business is going to look. And I developed my little silver system. And
Right.
so yours may look a little bit different because
Mm.
but it's still going to be the same idea. We're
Right.
all we're all doing the same basic thing. It's just going to look a little
Getting
bit
to the
different.
same destination.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So take mine, Emily's, Brooks, Abby's, whoever else is really good. And you just keep, I, that's what I did. I just kept listening to them all the time, like all day. I just had one playing and I'd write down snippets that I was like, I like how she said that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I practiced saying it a lot.
Okay.
And actually kill two birds with one stone, Linda. Practice saying it to a camera.
Good idea. I'll probably, as soon as we hang up from this call, wipe that thought right out of my mind. Never come back in my subconscious again.
You can do it. You
I'm
just have to
sure.
start.
Yeah.
Oh, Kristen Abart. Are you familiar with her at all?
I've seen her a little bit. Yeah.
She's excellent. Her husband, Jared Abart, is like an award-winning movie producer. He's the one
Oh,
who made all of those stories of hope. that Plexus has with
Oh, okay.
Shoshana. He made those.
Oh,
So
wow.
he's amazing. When they started Plexus, I think he started first because he saw the business opportunity. And he decided we needed to make training videos. And he decided to make Kristen his person. And she didn't want to have anything to do with it. And she's like, I hate being on camera. I hate this. I hate it. He goes, you're going to suck for the first 20 times. So just
Oh,
get through those 20 times as fast as you can. And then we can start getting good at this.
that's not comforting.
But it's what we're hearing all the time, isn't it? In all of our network marketing books, in
Yeah,
Slight Edge, he says, fail faster. If you want to
yeah,
get better at something, you're
right.
going to have to fail the first however many times. So hurry up.
Yeah,
Like, just go get your failures out of the way.
do it. Yep,
Yeah.
that's funny.
So, yes,
I'll work on it.
you probably suck the first 20 times,
I'm sure I will.
but then you will start to get good. Mhm. And nobody else is going to see it. You can delete the first 20 times.
Hopefully I won't die in the in-between and someone discover all those. That would not be good.
But I mean, honestly, who would care at that point?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
My
I'll
goodness.
work on it.
This has been such a get over myself journey over the past 3 years. Tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Yeah, and I tell
Mhm.
myself that a lot. If your focus is on yourself constantly, you can become so obsessive about things. And it's like,
Mhm.
think about the other person and you forget about yourself. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And you're a lot happier and
Oh, so much happier. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
I stressed myself out in years past with like, what did they think of me? Did I? It's just,
Mm,
and it took a long time. And I realized, I forget when we were in a situation and Andrew mentioned something, and I realized how I would have responded a year ago is
mm,
so different than how I walked out of that situation this time. It's just because I think different. I'm
yeah,
no longer so self-obsessed with
yeah.
like, I'm looking at other people. I'm trying to read them, figure out what they need, what they want.
Mhm.
I'm interested in them. It's just such a
Right.
different place to be in. It's
Yeah.
a lot more fun. Oh
It's
my
a
goodness.
lot it's a lot healthier too.
Mhm. Mhm. Good. Yeah, it's fun. Easier to make friends because you're actually interested in people,
Oh yeah, for
and they can
sure.
tell. They can
Yep,
tell.
for sure.
Mhm. All right, dearie. So there we go. That was a big one,
Yeah. Think I have plenty to work on for the next week. I might need 2 weeks.
right? Well, yeah, and this is not a so Gretchen did. So my sponsor, Gretchen, I went to her with like, there's too much. I don't know what to do. I have all of these things to work on. And she told me, I'm going to give you a deadline. I want you to have, I think it was develop your silver system because I told her that's what I needed by
Mm-hmm.
this day. She gave me like 3 weeks to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, like whatever that did to my head of like actually having a deadline and a focus, I went out and I did it in like 72 hours. I like
Oh,
I
Lord.
focused on it and I got it because once you actually sit down and focus on it, it's so much more clear. Like the answers are all here.
I find with me, when I have a deadline and a goal, it does just the opposite.
Uh-oh.
It usually stresses me out.
Why?
I I don't know. I don't know if it's the fear of not getting it done, failing, whatever. It's like I put a lot of internal pressure on myself then.
So you think that's your Enneagram 1 inner critic beating you up?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't have very much 1 in me.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. So yeah. I don't know.
So I know I need to set goals, but I've kind of seen that in myself that I get, and I kind of feel like that probably just about going gold. Like, oh my gosh, I've got to do it by the end of the year. Oh my gosh, part of the push, I've got to take in as much stuff, learn as much stuff, do as much stuff. And that kind of pressure, like, you've got to do this.
Right. Okay. So, oh, this is good insight. This probably falls right into the same camp as the whole video thing. Like you've told yourself stories somewhere along the line.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like this in all areas of your life with goals, deadlines?
No, just this, I would say.
So, what is it about this? Who are you trying to impress or not disappoint, or where's the pressure coming from?
I think it's just from me
Okay.
because I've set this goal and I want to reach it.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this is my goal, so I want to do it, but there's that pressure. What if I don't? I should be further, or I should be this.
Okay. So, slight edge.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember, how he's like, we really need to rephrase how we think of failure.
Right.
And failing to achieve a goal is not a bad thing if we were actually working on it. Like,
Right.
so
Yeah.
for me, this was really big because I'll fail to achieve a goal, but it's because I just quit working on it because it was either too stressful, too hard, like just too painful to look at. And so I
Mhm.
just let the deadline slip by and like convince myself it didn't matter. But
Yeah.
you start breaking trust with yourself because you told yourself this was something you're going to do, and now you're
Mhm.
not coming through. It's just like any other relationship. Eventually, you don't believe yourself anymore. You don't believe that you're actually going to be able to do it. Now, that doesn't sound to me like it's been your track record, though. Like you've been
No.
a pretty faithful person.
Yeah.
So is it that this is just something so different, so outside your comfort zone, so other that you haven't proven to yourself you can do it before? Like, do you not have any past experiences that you can lean on and point to and show yourself, oh no, I've done this. I can do this.
I feel like part of it is in the past, a lot of stuff has depended on me, where this, I feel like, doesn't totally depend on you. It's
Mm,
depending on a lot of other people and how they respond. You can do all the work
mm-hmm.
and not get the results. So I feel like part of it's a lot, I don't have control over it. That's probably
Oh,
part of it that
that's
I
so hard for a
that I
one.
don't like. Yes, if I'm fully in control, I know I can
Yes.
do it. But
Okay.
if
So,
it's in someone else's control, then it's like, I don't know.
okay. So this could be a very edifying territory for you, though. Like as far as God stretching you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, there aren't a whole lot of other playing fields where He's going to be able to grow you in this way. If
Right,
you have really good control over most areas of your life,
right,
because you have been faithful and you have done the things, you've established those good relationships, good habits. You don't have things in your life that are out of control.
right.
So this is, I mean,
Yeah,
so going back to what you'd shared on the team call about how you felt like God had really just spoken to you and
right,
given you so much peace about things, did
right.
that not all actually happen?
No, it did. And I have to remind myself of that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
here and there when I'm feeling that. And it ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
It's not all the time,
Right.
definitely, but it will come in
Mm-hmm.
and I will, yeah, have to remind myself, no, this is what God spoke and
Mm-hmm.
He will, I mean, I've got to do my part, obviously, but
Yeah.
rest in what He said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And something I hear all the time, nobody's plexus journeys look alike because we're all so different and we're learning different lessons along the way.
Right.
Like, if I had gone emerald as fast as I'd wanted to, I would not have been learning what I've been learning. I was not a leader. I was not ready to lead an emerald-sized team yet. Like,
Right.
I had to catch up to the next level, so it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so your inner critic, whatever it is, I would say Jessica Heffley talks a lot about this. She's a one too, and she has a really mean inner critic. And so she talks about this a lot. Instead of running from it, like
Mhm.
really write it down. Like, what is it that is telling you is so bad, is going to fail? And what is the worst case scenario? What if that failed? Like, put
Right.
it all out there. And then write the positive comeback, the counter that you have for that. So when your inner critic pops that on you, instead of being a victim and letting it beat you up and huddle in a corner in your own brain, you have this truth or this alternative reality that you could create to combat
Right. Yep. That's good.
the green light story instead of the red light story. I think that's a Bob Heilig thing.
Okay.
But yeah, no, those are two huge, huge areas. I completely empathize with both of them. I did not tackle them both at the same time, so I'm not saying that you have to, but you have the
Mhm.
opportunity to, since they are kind of linked in that you're needing to learn new verbiage so well that it's just how you talk. You
Mhm.
might as well practice saying it into a camera to get over your 20 sucky times. So that
Right.
you might as well kill two birds with one stone, I guess is all I'm saying. You don't have to, but it's an
No, it
idea.
makes sense.
It would take a lot of time, maybe weeks or even months out of the painful process if you
I'm
just
all for that.
knock them both out. Oh
Mm.
boy, look at us, like being brave and like saying anyways that we're gonna go conquer our giants.
Yeah. Well, that's accountability is a good thing so that you
Mhm.
can't say that and then slide and never do it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. So what is today? Today's the 12th.
Well, yeah.
All right, so we're talking silver development verbiage and practice videos. And again, the whole video thing, do you already feel like you have a message that you should be sharing and you just don't because you're afraid of videos?
No, not really. I just know videos are what attract people, and that's, you know, probably the best way to get the views and the different things. I know it's just
Okay.
a good thing. No,
Mhm.
I don't necessarily feel like I've got this burning thing to say.
Okay. So then in that way, we're very similar. And really, the video thing, it's not practicing so I can get this thing off my heart as much as I'm doing the faithful legwork so that when that opportunity happens, I'm prepared.
Right.
Is really
Yeah,
what.
it's more that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey, that's big stuff, girl.
I know it is. I get a headache thinking about it.
But none of it has to be in front of everybody. This is all the slight edge work you are doing, whether anybody knows it or not, behind the scenes, that's
Right.
going to make the difference in what your next couple months look like.
Yep. Yeah, and I know when you're growing and stretching, it's painful.
Mhm.
It's not fun. It's not easy.
But you're amazing. You're doing so good.
No, thank you.
As the things come up, we deal with them. That's all anybody can do.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. I'm trying. Trying not to run.
Mhm. I think isn't that so important? Why it's so important though to have a good team, good like account
Mhm.
supportive people, because otherwise it's just too scary to handle by yourself.
Yeah, no, I agree. And you believe some of the lies you tell yourself, and you need
Mhm.
someone to say, that's not true. That's not
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. All right.
Well, thank
Okay.
you for all the time.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure,
Yeah,
dear.
it was good.
And yeah, we will see you. I mean, I have nothing on my calendar anyway. That would be a reason I shouldn't show up next week. And then we'll talk too about even doing it. Do evenings ever work for you? I can pause the recording.
Um,